Yeah.
Are you worried about that? Are you nervous about that? What are your thoughts?
Just like living with a man every day.
Yeah.
I mean, my current roommate is a guy, so I'm used to living with a man every day. The only difference is
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Bird 91. We're talking to you guys about Michael and dealing with Jasmina. But in this particular video, I'm going to narrow down specifically at Michael because the omission of information was a violent act. And I say that in the sense of the fact that when you do omit this information purposely, I wouldn't say necessarily this was a lie, because she never directly asked him, are you living with a woman? It was an omission, which was more deceitful in this aspect, and that itself has repercussions for any type of relationship, and that's what we're going to talk about in this particular review. So if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads, and for those of you who are returning, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals, you got the minerals. Stay hydrated. Because the streets out there are hot. Grab your hoodies down below as well for this season. Okay. Let's talk about, let's talk about this particular episode because, or at least, sorry, these two. We've been seeing them for the past few weeks. I gave Jasmina smoke last week for her part in how she labeled their relationship, and I said that I didn't like the way she went about it. This week particularly, I think both of them again were at fault for the relationship kind of breakdowns, but specifically I want to talk about Michael's omission of information. Let me just paint a picture here. She's asking about the roommate situation, which he goes on to say she asks, have you ever lived with a woman? And he says no. Now let me be very frank with you, okay? Let me be very frank with you. I would be inclined to say, oh, maybe the reason why he said no was because he's thinking, have I ever lived with a woman romantically? No. Now, I get that, but there have been two conversations that we saw live with evidence that when the conversation came up, you didn't think it to be relatable. Now, that in itself is eye-opening in itself, because why did you not think at the moments where she spoke about her roommate, you didn't think to relate information? Oh, as you're living with your roommate, I live with my two female roommates. Why did you not think to mention that? Let me give you my point of view on. In fact, yes, let me give my point of view, and then we'll break down some of the scenes directly with video clips. I remember a situation where, I had a female friend, okay? She wasn't best friend at the time. She was a female friend, and I got into a relationship. And the reason, and my one of my exes never knew about this friend until later on. And she asked me, why did you never mention her? The reason why I never mentioned her is because me and that friend had been a little bit naughty in the past, okay? And I didn't want to mention that because that would mean explaining the whole story. And then that might mean a further lie I may need to do, because me saying I've got this particular friend who I've done a little ting with, all right, will look bad, right? And then I won't be able to be friends with that person no more. All right, I'll end up having to choose between my friendship or this relationship, right? Now, that in itself, I have my own selfish motives, and because I know how it's going to look and how it's going to sound, I'm already overthinking the situation, and rightly or wrongly, whichever way you look at it, I'm going to omit that information until the time serves me. That's exactly what Michael did. He omitted this information until it served him to tell the story. He never lied, but he omitted the information deceitfully with another reason in mind. I'll be honest with you. There's no way you've been absent-minded about this piece of information. Number one, you got asked this at the wedding. I'm going to break it down to you. So I'm going to show you the clips. At the wedding reception, you were there. She said, oh, I have a male roommate. Why didn't you say it then? Number two, when you were at the house itself, No, when she asked you directly here, have you ever lived with a woman? You could have said, oh, no, I've never lived with a woman romantically, but I do have two female roommates, because that was a story she just gave you. Okay, so that's number two. Number three is when we actually go to the house. Why do you think it when she's saying we're gonna go into your friend's room? You're not gonna be mentioning that's her room. Her room. Oh, she lives here. Why not say something like that? Because then that in itself will show, oh, okay, you've already kind of mentioned it by saying she or her. It makes it known the gender, right? Now, listen, having a male or female roommate, can be sticky for some people. I don't think that was necessarily Jasmina's position in this point. I think her annoyance is the fact that you omitted information. I keep saying lie, omitted this information. Let's break it down a little bit and watch a little bit of clips. Let's go back into and see what I'm talking about.
We go to our own bedrooms. Yeah, well, I mean, what about you? Have you ever lived with a woman? I can't remember you saying if you did or not.
Never.
So, never lived with a woman. Have you ever lived with a female roommate? I didn't even. Did she say female roommate? Hold on. Oh shit! Just say female. Let me just make sure I didn't hear incorrectly. Let me make my ears not hear incorrectly. You know, sometimes you have to go back.
Our own bedrooms. Yeah, well, I mean, what about you? Have you ever lived with a woman? I can't remember you saying if you did or not.
Never. That's new territory.
Okay, so it's new territory. I think he might be here responding to the fact he actually really might be thinking that it's a female living with romantically. But she mentioned in that she lived with a male roommate. Why does it not come up in your mind to mention that? I want to give him a pass, but I can't give you a pass because you had several instances. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had several instances. So for me, I can't really give you a pass on that. You said never, it's new territory. But it isn't really new territory because you've lived with a female roommate. So it isn't necessarily new. It might be new the fact that maybe you haven't lived with a woman romantically, but it's not necessarily new territory. Living with her. If you ask me, have you ever lived with a woman? I'm going to say, no, I've never lived with a woman. No. But have I had a female roommate? No, I haven't either. Have you? If someone asks Kojo, have you lived with someone before? Yeah, I've lived with a male roommate. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So the fact that he fails to really grasp this in this moment is concerning for me. And he's a bright young man. He's not stupid. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's omitting information. That's my sentiment and thought, that he's omitting information because it happens more than once. I want to see if I can get the flashback to you guys, because that's also a very important piece as well, because that kind of just brings into alignment what we're talking about here, about why I say it's a bit of a lie. I want you to notice this. Okay, that's body language. Okay, right there. What was happening was the female housemate had just gone into the room. Listen, let me be very frank with you. If you never thought about it, if you never thought, oh, there's anything wrong with me having a female roommate, and I said, and if you're never thinking about the fact that you answered a question that said, have you ever lived with a woman before? I don't think this body language comes out. This body language for me is guilty. Okay, this laid back approach that head's having at the moment. Let's have a look. You see what I'm saying?
Are you and your roommates friends? You guys just like separate?
We're
just
kind of, yeah, we're friends, yeah.
Okay. Where's your roommate?
Somewhere here.
Now, I'm guessing obviously Jasmine is I think Jasmine at this point in time has picked up that there's some feminine things around the place. I think the way she'll ask the question, where's your roommate? She's asking some questions because I think she kind of knows there's a female in his household. And I think he kind of clocks that she's clocking something, but he's not saying anything. The energy's off from both of them, right? Because there's something that hasn't been said, right, about this situation. Let's watch a little bit more. See this right here? See all of this? That looks like you're in trouble. Just personally for me, it looked like he's in trouble and he knows what's coming his way. That's the thing that's concerning for me. That's why I'm looking, I'm like, alright. He's looking at her. He's kind of smiling, but he's nervous smiling, right? Because he can see her reaction, all right? Maybe this is what he thinks he was afraid of. Maybe this is what he was afraid of. Him saying this, and this will get this reaction. But the truth of the matter is, he omitted information. Right? So you don't even get the chance to even say, oh, that's how she reacts. Or that's how she would have reacted. That's why I was not going to tell her. Especially when she had a male roommate. I remember I was dating a girl, and the girl said, oh, I have a male best friend. I said, I've got a female best friend. Cool. As soon as she mentioned it, I mentioned mine. Why would I hide that? Unless, like I said, you're overthinking the situation and you're preempting that she might say something or might feel a way about it. But in this case, there is actually no reason to, because she's already let you know, I've got a male roommate who's actually her friend. Not even a male roommate. It's even her friend. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? Even her friend. Come on, sir.
I didn't know you had a girl roommate.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, secrets. Oh my God. You never told me that.
Now, Jasmine is trying to do a good job of trying to play it down and just kind of make it a little bit of a joke, I guess, not to make it a massive argument, you know, at the time. But she's getting pissed as it's going on, I can tell. You know, when you start with that whole jokey, it's going to get serious depending on his reaction, right? Here's an issue, right? His reaction at this point now should be when she calls him out on it, and this is going to be later on, I'm going to show you the clip. When she calls him out on it, his reaction should be one of genuine sorrow, like, I am so sorry, I don't know what. Do you know what? It missed me because I was not even thinking on that level, like to even say, right? The truth of the matter is, nobody really misses on that level. Not when you've been asked on several occasions, more than once, about it, bro. Not when you're in positions where it should be a conversational talking point. If I go into your house and I wonder you're a roommate and you're gonna have roommates there, would you not mention your roommates? I had a girlfriend come around to my crib back in the day, and she was like, "Oh, who's your roommate?" I said, "Oh, who's your roommate?" I said, "Oh, this one guy from this particular country, whatever, right?" How can you not? If I come into your house and I ask a question about your roommate, oh, do you live with anybody else? The natural inclination is that when I might ask about, oh, who'd you say, is it a boy, a girl? What?
I know. We haven't really talked about it.
Kenny, who has the hat on. This is my best friend. He's also my current roommate as well.
See that clip here? It's a very dangerous clip they put in there. I'll tell you why it's dangerous. Because what it kind of shows, especially with his facial reaction after, is that he was a little bit annoyed by that. That's how it looks. But I'm not going to say that's what it is. What am I going to say is this. At that point, when she mentions, hey, you know what, I've got a male roommate who's also my best friend, why do you not mention the fact that you've got a female roommate? Why does it not come into your mind? Right? See, the issue here with being deceitful and being caught in your deceit is that there's distrust that enters a relationship. I can't trust you now. And anything you do say, I can't trust it. Guess what? I can't trust Michael now to tell the truth either. I'm now concerned about how I'm reviewing it, because now I'm looking at going, if you can lie, if you can omit and be deceitful about information which should just be freely given because it's not really a big deal, because the other party also has it's not like the other party doesn't have a male roommate. They do. So it's equal balance. She couldn't say nothing, because if she says anything about you, you can say, well, hold on, you got a female. And that, again, sends a smoke alarm all up into the air that maybe you've done something with your roommate. Maybe you've done something with your roommate. Now I got to think that, because you're omitting this piece of information. It makes you unstable and it makes you unreliable. When you become deceitful, when you become a liar, when you omit information that's important to things, you now become an unreliable source of information and you become unstable to anybody. Okay? Omitting such information on such little things become bigger lies and bigger omissions, because you're saying that you feel you know best for me. When you're sharing information, you're apparently thinking about me, or it slipped your mind. It will slip your mind in another situation, because this situation didn't require for it to slip your mind, because we had several conversations about it. Okay? All right? But it can turn into bigger lies and bigger omissions in the future. Number 4, like I said, it gives off the impression that you're hiding something. Okay, it gives the impression that there's small smoke, but there's no smoke without fire. That's what it's sounding like. Number 5, his body language has been a little bit weird, and I'm going to come into another clip and I'll show you what I mean by that. As well here. All right. So just that little part there, right?
I mentioned I have a guy roommate. You would think that would be when you say, "Oh, you live with the guy? Well, I live with the girl."
I live with the girl.
Nah, he's making it mad. See how they just did that thing? That's how I know. That, for me, sounded vindictive. I know I know some people might think I'm reaching. maybe it's an edit. Maybe it's an edit. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna tell you why I think it sounds vindictive on his part. Just gonna go back slightly, right? Okay. Let's just listen to this.
Well, I live with a girl. You
I live
just.
with a girl.
Okay. Why?
Now I'm gonna pause it there. Okay. Okay. She said you'd think that obviously if I say I'm living with a male roommate, you'd say obviously you live with a girl, right? And then he goes, yeah, I live with a girl. And then maybe it's an edit, the way it's edited, but it feels almost like, you know, like when someone catches you out on something. All right, then, yeah, I know it is. But you lied. That's why I asked you and you didn't say it is. Oh, now I'll say it then. Why would you now say it? Which means, because the energy you're giving to me right now sounds like you are acting as if I'm moving mad. All right, I live with a girl then. Yeah, but that's what, but you know that now because the girl just came in the room, but you'd have thought you'd have mentioned that. Why are you getting angst? Why are you giving me energy when you're in the wrong? Why are you giving me energy when you omitted information? I don't get it. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why I said it sounds a bit like vindictive here now, because maybe you weren't happy with and that's what I said about the clip. Maybe you weren't too happy about the whole situation that she had a male roommate. Maybe because you've done some things. And I told you, whenever you move mad in this life and you become dark, you think other people are dark. I'm not saying Jasmine has even done anything with that guy. But if you've done things with your roommate, you will definitely think that someone else is capable of doing things with their roommate because you've done it. And we all think we're good, don't we? We all think we're good. All right? So let's watch a little bit more.
You never mentioned it.
It didn't come up. I don't know.
It didn't come up. I don't know. And the conversation, he's still here. It's looking dismissive. It's looking dismissive, right? That in itself is problematic, right? Because you're in the wrong right now. And if you can't see that, we've got a big problem. If you can't see that you didn't mention this information, and it's a big piece of information because remember, what it looks like. So you overanalyzed or you forgot, which I don't think you did. And then you now giving this energy. Oh, sir, come on. Let's watch a little bit more.
I didn't hide it from you purposely.
Oh, okay.
No, I swear, I didn't.
I'm annoyed.
So he's like, I didn't hide it from you purposefully. Like I said, I think he's anticipating that she's thinking that he did it on purpose. To me, I'm just like, I'm wondering why this doesn't. It didn't cross his mind. So we're gonna look at that little argument because there's a little bit of an argument, or I should say, an interchange around this area as well. And we'll deal with that first, okay? Again, body language is important. Let's focus on that as well.
See how we mesh living together?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so context scene, they're in the house, they're packing her stuff, and they're just discussing a few things, right? Now she's obviously still she finds it very difficult to let things go. That's the whole truth, right? She finds it very difficult to let things go. She's admitted it herself. She finds it difficult to let things go. So now we're in a situation where they're talking in the room. Let's have a look. You see her facial expressions? Did you see it? She's still pissed, right? She's still pissed. And to be fair, he should have. I don't know if he has, but he should have come out and given her a good apology, right? She'll come out and give a good apology. Part of me really thinks, I'm just gonna say it. Part of me really thinks that he omitted this information vindictively, and wanted her to find out this way. Be honest with you. And the reason why I say that is because just the way he's going about the whole situation, when you're genuinely sorry about something, yeah, there's a way that you move when you're genuinely sorry about something. Same way that she wasn't going to be genuinely sorry about her particular issue, he's also got a certain way about his issue when he's not genuinely sorry, right? That's why we haven't heard no apology. That's why we've seen dismissive energy, dismissive body language, and he's about to do the exact same thing here. Now, she's pissed, and I'm rightly so, and I can back her on this anger, and I totally understand it, right? She's angry. Let's see.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When we were at your apartment, I don't know if I didn't.
Pause. I don't like his body language already. The conversation is getting to it's when you know when a lady's about to tell you some deep stuff, right? At the apartment, and he's already holding to a suitcase. He's behind his arms, and he's kind of leaning on the suitcase, right? For me, I don't like the position because it's not very open, but also as well, it's showing defense already, right? But it's what happens next. When you add it all together, it creates its own kind of image, and I'll explain it.
Here correctly, but I thought you said you had a female roommate.
Did I say A? Like
Yeah.
one? No, that's not what I meant.
So you have 2 female roommates?
Yeah.
Pause. Why is this information not... So now her issue, obviously, in this particular case, that, you know, you have 2 female roommates, right? Now, here's the thing. I don't know if you heard it earlier on. Earlier on, he actually admitted he had 2 roommates. He lived with 2 people. And this is why I find it frustrating, okay? Because before they get to a point where where the girl comes in the room, she asks, how many roommates are you, how many people you live, I think he answered the question that he lives with 2 people. So now we find out there's a female roommate going into the room. Why did you not disclose that there's another female I also live with? The second person's the second female. Why are we intentionally not thinking and adding this information into a conversation? And now we're here and she's now realizing what 2 female roommates. Okay, cool.
So what did you think that I purposely didn't tell you about that one?
Well,
And again, we're on this point. Listen, don't get twisted. I'm sure in the past, you know, I think Jasmina has probably accused him of some stuff and he's felt some type of way about it. It's made him very defensive. But on this occasion, sir, you're saying for the second time, oh, do you think I purposely didn't tell you about it? Yes, you didn't purposely tell her about it. And now this is where we're getting very touchy, because again, I'm not going to call out certain labels just yet. I'm gonna wait for the pattern of evidence. Same way I'm talking for Jasmina, I'm not going to label her just yet. But I'm looking at a pattern of behavior for Michael, and I'm starting to see some things that are getting a bit concerning. This is smelling like a setup. This is smelling like a setup for her to blow up. Why are you not letting this information be known? Why is it that you can't... If I'm living with 2 people in my yard... I've said this before, let me not repeat the point. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It frustrates me, it irks me, because this level of deceitfulness is plotted and planned. It's not mistakenly. You don't make mistakes like this. And especially after you've just had a little bit of a grilling from her in the house that you were in, your house. When a female goes in, you can see that she's a little bit tiffed off, a little bit pissed off, and you are seemingly somebody who can read these kind of things, that you don't say, oh, by the way, you know what, whilst we're here, I actually have 2 female housemates. I know I didn't say it before, but I don't want it to be something later on. So yeah, I have 2 female roommates. You still didn't say it then?
I mean, I didn't know about the first one. If we were just boyfriend and girlfriend and not married, living in the same place, you wouldn't tell me that you live with the opposite sex?
Now, I don't want to use any other argument like, oh, maybe she feels away because she's also maybe got some feelings for her roommate, or she's doing something with her roommate. In this case, I can't use that as a contextual argument. The argument is about omission of information, right? So before you jump down the Super Mario hole and start talking about, well, maybe because she's doing something with someone else, that's why she thinks the way he's thinking. No, he's omitted information, and he's still doing it. And even now, when he's pressed against a hard place, do we see any remorse in his face?
It'll come up when it comes up.
It's come up.
Have you ever lived with a woman? I can't remember you saying if you did or not.
Never.
So there's been...
So now that's looking like a blatant lie, because I've given you a downgrade. I've said omission. I've gone from murder to manslaughter. I've gone from murder to manslaughter for you, because I'm saying an omission of information. Bearing in mind, I'm saying to you that I'm trying to give you a little bit of grace by saying, when she said, have you ever lived with a woman, that you interpreted it as, I have never lived romantically with a woman. But the fact that you didn't mention onwards from there, but I have a female roommate, especially after she said, first and foremost to you, I've never lived with a male, but I'm living with a male roommate. And the fact that you didn't think with brain that you have, that's so smart to mention this, tells me that I'm going from omission now to lie. You're a whole liar. That's my honest truth. That's my honest feeling and sentiment. I'm going to call him a liar. And I don't like liars. I really hate and despise lies. Can't stand them. But in this particular case, there's a deceitfulness I'm not liking about Michael right now in this particular issue because of the behavior I'm seeing. Again, I'm talking about behavior, not him as a whole embodiment. I'm talking about his behaviors that we're seeing on screen, right? It's getting dangerous.
And opportunities.
But it wasn't because I didn't want to tell you, like, I think you'd care.
The thing is, it doesn't bother me that you live with women. I've lived with men before.
So he wants to make it, and this is why I said and here's why I'm saying that it's becoming a bigger issue than it really is of just about the line, because look where he's taking the questioning. He's like saying, so, but why is it an issue? Like he's trying to basically say, like, are you pressed the fact that I'm living with women? And that's why I said that the deceitfulness is becoming purposeful, right? Because he knows exactly where he's trying to go to this. It should be a sorry, I've made a mistake. I didn't mean to omit. I forgot the information to let you know. It didn't really come to my mind properly. But no, instead, now look what he's doing. He's now flipping it. This is what I'm saying about the same with Jasmina. Just a few weeks ago, and I said it, and I called her out for it. I'm calling Michael out for it. This is dangerous behavior when you do this. I said the same thing about Jasmina. When you start doing this, you're moving into toxic manipulations of each other, right? You were wrong, admit you were wrong, and this is done. But no, instead, you dug your heels in to try now and run it back onto her. No.
Currently live with a man now. It just bothers me that you didn't think that was something important to tell me. And it's not just one. It's.
Do you know what I'm saying? Hold on. My finger about to go out, bro. There we go. So, you know, I'm looking at it and I'm like, why are we omitting such information from the situation, and then you're gonna try and flip it? Let's watch a little bit more.
Two women. Mm-hmm. That's just being in the same space with the opposite sex is serious. So the fact that that didn't come to your mind first is why I'm like.
So in this case, Jasmina has every right to think, this is weird. Why would you not mention it? You don't need to live with a person romantically for you to think that romantic level. No. And he's not shown us that he thinks one track. He's a very versatile thinker. We know this. That's why he cut off his arguments the way he has. That's why he's been emotionally intelligent in terms of apologizing. You can't play dumb in this situation now. If you've shown us that you're emotionally intelligent, you can't play dumb. Do you see what I'm saying? You can't play the whole I forgot situation. You can't, I didn't know it's important. No, you can't, because you've already shown us that you're emotionally intelligent in some versatile degree, which makes this nefarious and that's why I said that it's always harder on someone when you now know, because now you know it's purposeful, the behavior. You now know what you're doing. This isn't you acting out. This isn't your emotions speaking before it is. You were trying to get her back. You're trying to let her know. You're trying to wrestle some power with this omission of information because you knew she was going to find out.
Okay, I did it. But even if I didn't, what does that mean? Like, what would I be trying to get away with? Like, I currently live with women. I don't think.
At this point, when it's why I said, what are you doing? What are you doing? The argument is about you omitting information, and you're saying, but why would I do it? And then what would I be doing to get away with it? What do you mean? What do you mean? That's not the argument. When people start using this argument about, but why would I lie? And what would I get out of it? Meaning, when people start doing that oftentimes, that's a losing argument for me. Whenever people start saying, but why would I have to lie? What would I gain out of it? I've already got so much money. Why would I have to lie again? When people start using such weak arguments like that, I tend to believe that they're lying. They haven't got a strong argument. Do you know what I mean? And they are about to be caught out. Oh, my friend is black, so why would I have to? What? No, nigga, no. I'm not buying that at all. Last little bit.
It makes me like I'm trying to hide something.
Well, that's what it seems like when there's been plenty of opportunities to bring it up and you didn't.
I'll agree with you. Bad judgment call. There were times when I could have told you. I should have told you.
See, the fact that he never moves from that position, says, I'll agree with you, bad judgment call, da-da-da. You see, in that moment, maybe pride is hampering him. Maybe he's scared that if he apologizes, she'll run all over him. But you were wrong. You were wrong. You were blatantly wrong. So you should just come out and say, listen, my bad. I'm so sorry for that. You know what? It slipped my mind. I'm sorry for that. I apologize. Sorry, Jasmina. I'm sorry for what it's caused you. And I know it can seem, like I'm hiding something. I'm not hiding anything. That would have been a sound apology, which he knows how to do, which is why I'm saying that this is a bigger issue than it seems. It's much more bigger because the way you think has been shown already.
But it wasn't because I'm trying to get away with it to get you not to know. You're looking at me like you don't know what the hell I'm saying.
Yeah, she's looking at you like you don't know what you're saying because your apology is whack. And that's not an apology. You know exactly what you're doing. Michael, you're on tin ground at the moment. We'll wait till next week to see. But we're going to deal with Jasmina after as well because she was out here playing on the mad thing as well. You feel me? But make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded.
Little black hood, you know what time it is.